topic of the discussion and hit the issues you typically find reluctant. Remove the facade to fill the gap with some substance. We undermining problems, expecting to overcome it. Please hold the applause. We doing it for the cause. People follow culture before they follow the laws. We rather face the friction and not attempt it at all. Persistence will find solutions once our contentment dissolves. There's a hard pill to swallow for anyone breathing, both for folks who stay woke and those who be dreaming. We ain't slaves, yet we still ain't experienced freedom. What we need is the keys to access the kingdom. We're all in this fallen world trying to stay intact. I'm just a beggar, point you out to where the bread is at. So follow the breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel. Thank Yogi Bear and the thought engineer for that on Monday. It's Man Talk Monday. Woo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is Monday once again. Ladies and gentlemen, Man Talk Mondays.
Yes, y'all.
The thought engineer. Well, man, comedian John Yogi, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. What is the word for today, sir?
The word for today is we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
It's good to be here, man.
I mean,
Good
I know
to be
they're
here.
supposed to be April showers. Supposed to be April showers. It seemed like it's May showers because brother, it's been coming down. Like,
dude, I looked outside. It was raining so hard. I was like, dude, what in the world? It rained all last week. You know, it's funny. It rained all last week.
I know.
And the lawn and the yard people still came to cut the grass. I'm like, bruh, you ain't finna get that $25.
At hot like, 25.
Not 25, not this week, bro. He sitting outside, bro. Got mud everywhere. Like, bro, come on, man.
I know, man. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to Man Talk Mondays. It's an open forum where we talk about everything from religion to politics to relationships. But of course, we're doing it from a man's perspective. Now, keep in mind, this is not just for men. We want everybody to participate. Men, women, boys, and girls, feel free to join in the conversation. This is us having a conversation, all of us, right? So we need you to talk to us. And we want to know how you feel about what we're talking about, all right? So how you do this, you just go in the comments, leave your question, leave your comment. We can see it. And this is how you participate in the conversation. We want you to talk to us. So talk back. We want to hear from you, all right? Big thanks to everybody who is joining us, everybody who's been joining us. Thank you for all the love. But we won't hold up the time. Ladies and gentlemen, Man Talk Monday News.
This is Man Talk Monday News with your host, John D. Blackman. And tonight's story, please stop jugging your husband. When he say something kind of fly or kind of smart, today is the day we're going to let him make it. You just roll your eyes and mumble and keep walking like you used to. Today ain't the day. As a matter of fact, the weather is kind of bad. Won't you clip your toenails so y'all can snuggle and so you won't be cutting up the sheets, women? Today is the day that we trying to make everything nice and quiet for our husband. So it's no frown Monday. All we want to see today is smiles on women's faces because they're so happy with the job that their husbands are doing. With your man, John D. Blackman. And this is Man Talk Monday News tonight. Good evening and good night.
Be good to us. Treat us right.
Is that asking too much? every now and then rub my feet when I
Give
get
me
home.
a break.
Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask?
I don't know. Seems like women need to understand, if you just treat your man good, he will give you the world. He will do everything for you. If you got a good one, you got a good one.
Or he'll at least give you the world that he can afford. That might be a little corner of it, but hey, it's still the world.
But it's from his heart. It's from his heart, though.
And that's all that matters. That's all that should matter, D. That's all that should matter. But
I ain't asking for too much.
I think that ain't gonna be enough for him, D. I'm guessing, but I don't think that's gonna be enough.
Well, a man can hope, right? If you ain't got nothing, you got hope. So
let's keep hope alive.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to our podcast. You can find us Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you go to listen to podcasts. You can go and catch the show anytime you want to, right? We got a lot of episodes out there, some great stuff out there. So by all means, make sure you go check out the podcast. We upload a new episode every week. So at your leisure, you want to listen to Man Talk Mondays, let's go check out the podcast, right? Make sure you tell all your friends and family about it.
Tell somebody. If y'all do like the Brady's and tell one and then so on, then my mission will be complete of enlightening the world with our good graces. D, go ahead.
That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to help somebody. We're just trying to help somebody.
Come on, don't fight us. Don't fight us. We're trying to help the world.
All right. Who we got out there? Y'all let us know who we got out there. All right. So we getting into our topic tonight. Crazy love. Managing unhealthy relationships. Crazy love.
Crazy love.
Talking about that crazy love. I can't play the Brian McKnight. You know, they like to shut down your shut down your feed when you start playing
the whole music. Show. The whole show.
They shut it down. We don't need all that drama right now tonight. So, so yeah. How many of y'all have been in a relationship where the person just seemed like they get to the point where they just do way too much?
Well,
sometimes you get to the place you feel tripped.
I'm tripped. I really want to know this, Dave, before we get into that question. How many people, when you see crazy, you recognize it, and what do you do when you see crazy in relationships? I mean, when you see, because I remember one time I was dating this girl, and I had seen a flash of crazy, but I ignored it because I had my eyes focused on something else. And surprisingly enough, when I achieved what I wanted, whoo, boy, it got real crazy. It got so crazy to where I was hiding. I was like hiding from them. And it turned out to be not nearly worth. And you know, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared, man. I was scared because she was pretty crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. She's pretty crazy. She was New York crazy.
Was she crazy? Oh, New York crazy.
She was New York.
See,
crazy.
It's hard for Southern people to deal with Northern crazy. Northern crazy it's a shock to your system if you're from the South. We're not used to that.
Now, before we get into this, we want to let everybody know this is the mental health awareness month. So we're talking about people that may have. We're talking about crazy folk. First of all y'all crazy. Let me just say that. All y'all crazy, but it's some of y'all that's a little bit more crazy than everybody else. And we want to make sure we touch everybody today. The girl from New York was crazy. She was touched. She was touched. I'm telling you, somebody would knock at my door and I would be in the blinds like this. looking in. I'm trying to make sure it wasn't her, brother. I am so serious, man. I was hiding like she was a Jehovah's Witness, brother.
Now, sometimes we can make people crazy though. What you think? Do you think we can make people crazy though? We do stuff to make them crazy.
I do think we can make people crazy. I do. I think we can make people crazy because we play with their hearts, and you don't. And different things set people off. For example, if you're not serious about something, and you see they're the kind of people that you know, because people have traits. You see a trait that where you think, man, she might be kind of clingy, or she might go off. Or you just listen. When you play with people's heart, really, you kind of roll in the dice because you don't know what you're gonna get from people when you playing with their heart. So you can help. You very well.
I had an ex.
Go ahead.
I had an ex that would fight people. She would she would fight people. So much so, we had this incident. We broke up for a second, and she had this friend. You know, typically when you break up with people, you're not cool with their friends no more. But I'm sitting down. This was at school. I was sitting down, and her friend came and sat and started talking to me. And she started telling me all this stuff, and you know, I'm like, you know, cool, all right, cool. So weeks go by, and all of a sudden, me and her get into this heated argument. We get into this heated argument. And I said, that's why your girl told me everything, what I do that for. Later on that day, I got a call. It is her on the other line. She didn't trick the girl to go over to a mutual friend's house. And she on the phone like, now tell me what she tell you. And I hear she talked to her. She says, he better say the same thing you just told me. I'm gonna beat you again. And she got this girl in there held hostage, beating her up, man. It's crazy, man. But I was the culprit. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't acting right. But we can make people crazy.
So you helped her be crazy.
Oh yeah, I did. I had my contribution to the crazy. So yeah. Any of y'all ever contributed to somebody's crazy before?
I'm sure they have.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. So,
or have you been the crazy?
Hey, there you go.
Right.
Wait, let me say this. Have you ever been with somebody that make you want to act crazy? Like the guy said, every night I got to prove my love. I got to fight every night.
Hey, man, that's real. That's real. And that's the kind of stuff you want to try to avoid. You want to kind of stay away from stuff like that. Nobody have time to be fighting and all that kind of stuff. But some people like that.
Well, yeah, some people like drama. Some people like drama. Some people like drama. What type of Mike Tyson shit?
Selena say what? Selena say what kind of Mike Tyson chicks were you messing with? Well, and let me say, she was an intense person. And you gotta watch out for intense people. When you get into a relationship with somebody, you start to learn about somebody, watch their intensity level. Because if they real loving and real caring and everything, if they intense with they love, if you mess over them, they're gonna be just as intense in trying to hurt you or somebody else. So you got to watch out for that.
But you know, one of the weird things about it is when you first meet crazy. When you first meet different, we're not gonna say crazy. We're gonna say intensified love. It's kind of a trip. We kind of brag to people, man, dude, this shit, girl, boy, woo. Boy, she's something else, man. You know, we brag about it. But then when that thing gets turned up to 10,
Yeah.
it ain't funny no more. It ain't funny. It is not funny no more.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till somebody get hurt. Wesley said, I had a girl go to his pastor to try to get back with him. So she
Oh
went to
wow.
the pastor and told the pastor, say, hey, I need him to come on back. So you need to you need to go talk to him. She went to the pastor. That's a little
Say,
crazy.
say, add me to the prayer list this week, Pastor, if you don't mind. Add me to the prayer list.
Rosa said, I ain't going to lie. I've been made to act crazy. So it was all them, right, Rose? It was all of them.
I'm curious. When people say they made me act crazy, what is crazy? What is acting crazy? What is that? What does that consist of? Because I know it can be different for everybody. What does it consist of?
Y'all tell us, what do you consider crazy?
I remember this girl who was going crazy on her husband. And I thought it was an isolated incident because it was her husband. I thought he had did something to set her off. But then when I had seen her later, and after she threw him out, she had somebody else, and she did the same thing to him. And then I realized there's something a little different about her. She got some issues that might be considered dangerous. So I'm really tripping. What is crazy and what's too crazy? What's because listen, it's funny to say, she threw a shoe at him. So
Abigail said throwing a shoe at you.
see that ain't crazy. That's just angry, boy. Now if you hit it,
I don't know if it's one of them. If it's one of them 7-inch heels, I think that's crazy. That's a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jeffrey said, I don't believe people can make somebody act crazy. They were already crazy and just wanted a reason to be that way. You're right. But sometimes we don't mind being that reason.
No,
I think that's the problem.
Jeffrey was the same one that said he was a player last week, if I'm not mistaken. Was that not Jeffrey? Was that Jeffrey last week? If it was Jeffrey, that wasn't him?
No.
Okay, never mind.
That
wasn't him.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, Jeffrey. I got two people mixed up. I got you mixed up somebody else. Let's keep it moving. I didn't say nothing. But now I'm gonna have to disagree with Jeffrey. Now, if people listen, everybody has a room they don't want you to go in. If you go in that room and start knocking over furniture, somebody liable to come meet you. Something wrong. We got, you know what I'm saying?
That's real. Yeah. You don't want to test people to see what their limits are all the time. Like women, if a man is upset, he want to walk away, let him walk away. Don't invite his other side to come out. Don't invite it.
It ain't in women to do that. It's not in women to do it. It ain't in them to do it. That's in the woman manual, chapter 4, verse 3. Don't let him walk away. It's in there.
That's dangerous. Selena said, I disagree with Jeffrey. Some people pull out the crazy in you by pulling on your heartstrings and then ripping that ish up. You get violent with your heart. They just get violent. Constance say having a knife thrown at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call that attempted murder. Attempted murder. Yeah.
Having a knife.
Laura said it. Laura said it's true when you give your all and end up finding out you've been made a fool of. It turns a switch on in some of us.
As it should, though. As it should.
I know.
People play too
Rosa
much.
said he denied our relationship even existed. He denied our relationship even existed. In his words, he said we had an agreement to just have a child. What? Mind you, I had just survived an attempted suicide attempt. So I was low key not well mentally. Oh wow. Oh wow. That's serious. That's serious.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
to Rosa's point, I gotta say, is he responsible for he's responsible for lying, but getting into that relationship, was it a wise choice? If you don't mind me asking, Rosa, why did you get into a relationship if that was, so soon after such a, horrific event? Constance said, don't poke the bear. No, you do not want to poke the bear. Jeffrey says, if somebody is pulling on your heartstrings and you stay, then you're crazy.
I don't know about that, Jeffrey. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Well, there's a couple of things I want to add to that. Okay, most of the times it's your heartstrings, and it's people won't let you have them like you want. Most of the time, we chase people that's running from us. We want them to care about us or love us the way we love them, and it drives us crazy when we can't do that. When we can't control them, and like they have us, it drives us bananas. And then when he does something and says, "Oh, I thought we had an arrangement." Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to go think about this a little while. And let me say this: if you are, because this came a little earlier than what I thought it would, but if you're struggling with some type of mental illness, I would recommend, man, get some help. Get some help. Real talk. I laugh and joke. I'm a comedian. That's what I do. But I understand the seriousness of real mental health. I think to say crazy is one thing, but to have real mental issues is a completely different thing. So make sure you're getting yourself the help that you need, and take your meds. Take your meds.
Yeah, typically we like to keep a lighthearted feel to the show. Every now and then it can slip off into the serious. When you're dealing with real mental health issues, it is serious.
Yeah.
It is serious. What we talking about right now is just people who can control themselves choosing not to. People just acting a monkey for no reason at all. Right?
So
it's all because we're not.
Go ahead, D.
Go ahead.
I would say what. So is throwing something at you considered kind of crazy? Is that losing it when somebody throws something at you?
A knife?
I ain't say a knife. Like anything they can get their hands on at the time.
Yeah.
Really?
Where you don't start no arguments in the kitchen then. Just don't start arguments in the kitchen.
I remember I had a friend.
If that's the case.
His wife would be mad at him. And when he walk in the door, she would like hit him over the head with like a lamp or something. And when he wake up, he be done missed all his shows and everything. And dinner be cold and all that because he be out on the floor. I'm like, hey man, something might be wrong with that. Something might be wrong with that, bro.
See, I guess On Demand just fixed all his problems. You can watch TV whenever you want to. So he ain't missing nothing now. Abigail says, I always believe you can't control no man, but you can control your actions. I don't need no high blood pressure and a stroke behind some mess. I think it's a maturity level. Absolutely right.
Yeah, but when you're in your 20s and 30s, you ain't thinking about no high blood pressure or no stress because you thinking I'm gonna live forever, but I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him. He ain't gonna do me like that. I don't know who he think he dealing with, but he ain't gonna do that to me. But as soon as you hit 40, whoo, child, my sugar and my everything up. I can't be doing all this. Hey, I understand. I understand.
Okay, so Rosa says, no, it wasn't. I looked at him as my saving grace. Now she just said something very, 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 very important. If you have a serious issue, especially mentally, don't ever make somebody else responsible for your mental well-being. You have to take responsibility for that yourself, because whether you well or not unwell is going to depend on whether they there or not. And your life is too important to leave the chance like that.
And I want to say, I want to kind of say this, if I could jump in a second. Man, do you understand the responsibility that you putting on somebody else though? You putting your well-being, you giving that to somebody else. Oh my man, think about that. I don't know how old you were, but I'm sure y'all were younger than you are now. And man, that just seems like a lot to put on a younger person who's sound like he really hadn't matured like he needed to. Sound like he was really kind of doing some things. Just sound like he was kind of being selfish in that moment. From the sounds of it, I don't know him, but man, that just seemed like an awful lot. And I would dare to say that your meter went off and said once or twice, this might not be the best investment or best idea I've had to do this with him. This might not be the best thing, because I dare to believe that the first time he did something like that was when he finally said, I thought we just had an arrangement. I dare not believe that was the first time he did something like that. I believe he showed you who he was, but we had on rose-colored glasses, and you kind of want to see him for who you wanted him to be. And that's a mistake we make sometimes. We don't see the real person. We see what we want to see in them, especially when we're in a time of need.
Yeah. Wesley said it sucks being in love by yourself. I get what you're saying. You're absolutely right.
You didn't say that again, did
If you're depending on that person. Wesley said it sucks being in love by yourself. Here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing, though. D, you too calm, D.
Hold on.
You too calm.
What am I missing? What am I missing?
Being in love by yourself.
You got John going, Wesley. You got him going.
You being in love by yourself means you have given yourself to somebody. You have given your heart to somebody. And they were like this. Get out of here, dude. You crushed. You can't listen. I understand you, the thought engineer. You want to say, hey, listen, guys. It sounds really bro. It deserves more than that. Okay, go ahead.
But I'm saying, here's the thing, though. Yeah, it sucks being in love by yourself. But this is why you gotta love yourself. So when don't nobody give it back to you, you don't feel like you done lost. You may feel like you done lost because you have an expectation. But if you need that person to make you feel good about you, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. And you gotta watch out for that. You don't think so?
That is dangerous, D. But most of the time, you don't really know how you're gonna react when it happens to you, man. Everybody got a plan about these things until they get hit in the mouth. Again, again and again and again, brother. That thing would kick you, brother. Listen, D, you too calm. You too calm for me. You upset me because you too calm. They out here playing these folks' hearts, and you too calm about it, D. You too calm about it.
No, because it's a dangerous game, because you don't know what level of crazy that person is capable of. So for the person who is not taking somebody's heart serious, taking somebody's love serious, you got to be careful. There's been too many people who've gotten hurt because of this. Let me get Jeffrey. Jeffrey says, you don't own the person you're obsessed with. I mean, love. We're all adults here. I don't believe in passing accountability for my actions on someone else.
Listen, we've all had somebody. We've all had somebody, whether vice versa, that was more, that liked me more than I like them. Everybody, I believe everybody has this. And you have a responsibility when you know you don't care as much for them as they do you, to treat them right, to be kind. I remember I had this girl one time. She really liked me, but she was a little more, how do you say? She was, well, okay, I'm saying she might have had a knife wound or some bullet hole, a bullet wound or something in her. And I'm square. I didn't want to
work down at the Players Club.
I didn't need that in my life. I did not need that, but she was really after me, and I was like, and I let her, I was cool. Say, I can't. I wish I could. I can't. I could have played with her heart, but it would have got real ugly for me if I had to play with her heart. And I'm like, no, and I owed as much I owed to her, I owed it to myself, because I wouldn't want nobody doing me that way.
So the movie, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Thin line between love and hate, right? Martin.
Yeah, I remember the movie.
So did he trigger her crazy? Or was it bound to happen?
Wait a minute. You think he didn't trigger? Wait. He told her, I love you. And she said, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Because, hey, I've been through some stuff, and she was an older chick and looked like she had been. And wait, and then she told him, I either she shot her husband or killed him or something. I'm like, ling, 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 ling. All the warning signs going up. Right. How you don't get that? I remember the movie Acrimony. That's not that movie, Acrimony. When that girl said, I will set the house on fire with me in it. There are warning signs, y'all. Pay attention. Ling, 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 ling. It's warning signs. Don't go past this point or you're going to drown. I'm just saying. I'm a little passionate. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Selena says, listen, love, heartbreak and misuse and abuse of a heart that was given to you and completely will send you straight to the crazy house. Like, step outside your body and act a straight fool crazy, doing actions you normally wouldn't do. Yeah, love will have you doing things that you like, this is not me. I don't normally act like this. Abigail says, I was playing with the throwing something. I think when it starts to get physical, that's when respect is out the door. That's already toxic and unhealthy. That's already a toxic and unhealthy relationship.
Well, I agree. I agree with Abigail. Yeah. I think it is toxic and unhealthy. But if we be honest, don't those seem like the best relationships? Boy, when you got that crazy woman, that crazy man, it's exciting because you don't know what he's gonna do. You're fighting this week and you're loving next week. Think about it. When we see it on other people, it just looks like it's so. You know what I'm saying? Again, when you're young, that's good. But when you start getting older, I'm good. I'm good on all that. See, there you go. She was 21. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Rosa said I was around 21, but I'm 35 now. So I have learned so much from that relationship and how my mental health was something I had to address. No one else could help me but me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. For people who have real mental health issues, whether you have a real hard diagnosis like bipolarism or I forgot the other one. Borderline personality disorder and all this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have got to don't even think about relationships right now. I know you want one, but you got to seek help for yourself and get to a place where you can take responsibility for your own mental health, because you do not want to put that on somebody else. And when you start seeing somebody, don't stop seeing the professional. Matter of fact, you probably want to bring them with you a couple of times so y'all can talk together. Abigail says, I must agree with Derek. You have to love yourself first. The person that comes into your life should just add on to what you have already. You can't depend on them to even have happiness.
Derek and Abigail, that sounds good. Listen, hey, y'all, that sounds good. But we don't get that until we in our 30, 35, 36, and 40. When you're in your 20s, you looking for somebody to complete you. You looking for somebody to help you be whole, and you think you need that. You don't know, man, this is real talk. You don't know you don't need that until you get over. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been tripping. But normally we got to go through some bumped heads before we get to that point, though. I mean, I get it. We all mature, more mature now, but we weren't always like that. And especially,
they say experience is the best teacher, but you don't have to take every class.
Hey, but it's about that booty duty, though. When that booty duty right, bro. I'm just saying.
Fred said, when you know the consequences, sometimes you roll the dice. Fred said it's a crapshoot, so.
And that's what yes, he's exactly right. He's exactly right. Because everybody has been with somebody you thought, she might be a little thrown off a little bit. She might be but and then you would, and you're like, whoa, okay. And she love his heart. She love his heart as great shit. And sometimes in the beginning you think it's worth it until she cutting your tires, until she busting the window out your car. I remember I had this girl one time to come to my job and cuss out everybody she talked to before she got to me. And I thought, oh, you're gonna get me fired. You're gonna cuss out everybody she got to before she got to me. I'm in the office, I'm in the place. She cussed out everybody she got to get to me. And I'm sitting there like, because I'm like you, I'm a civilized man. I don't know nothing about crazy. But hey, again, she had signs and I ignored it. But it was all good though. Go ahead, D. Wesley. What did he say?
All right. Wesley says, when I told Tina, if you try to down me again, I'll kill you. That's when you run. Okay. So here's something you gotta understand. Here's something you gotta understand. If you in a relationship and crazy show up, be careful how you exit. Be careful how you exit. You do not want to trigger something without being in safety. You got to have an exit plan, because when that person feel like they gonna lose you, it can get dangerous. So you got to watch out for that.
But D, what you do? Well, I mean, how can you because ultimately it gets dangerous because you're pulling away. They notice you pulling away from them. The reason why they get So what do you do? Okay, how can I say, D, save my life? What can you do for me? Can I come stay at your house? What do I need to do?
No, if that's necessary, because if the person is volatile, you've seen they mood swings and they can go there, you gotta be careful, because sometimes people are not willing to just let you go. And there have been people that have gotten seriously hurt. Like Abigail says, to somebody gets physically hurt. It's probably sexy when you're young, but I'm old and I ain't got the muscular muscles to be swinging and throwing stuff. We going to pop something out of socket. Right. Nobody got time for all that. And it's not worth somebody losing their life over. It ain't worth that. Because if that person is irrational, you don't know what they're going to do. So rather than just, I'm gone, you got to be careful how you leave. Have you a support system, some people that'll, watch out for. If you got to change your name, move out of state, do something. But just watch out for people that just go to extremes. Just watch out for that.
So you need to call some friends over and don't turn your back to them. No sudden moves. You might even want to have the police come to the house to help you get your stuff together while you go, while you get out of there. Because the heart wants what it wants what it wants. And when it's not getting what it wants, you cannot tell me what nobody would do with their heart or for their heart or to have what their heart wants. No, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. So get that SWAT team over there.
Laura says, that's why I don't argue with anyone, family or friends. When the conversation cannot be on a respectful or mature level, I just end the talking until they find some sense. Right?
Also,
keep it at a level. Don't let it go too far. So I'm watching this video one time, and this girl, she has the police at her house. 2 cops at her house. They were trying to get her out. They was like, "Do you need to go get some?" And the husband or boyfriend bust up in there and start shooting. He shot police, hurt everybody.
I saw that.
You gotta be careful, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
You gotta be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Abigail said, "You right. I did slap a girl across the table disrespecting me while I'm sitting there watching her try to be all over my man, and my man thought it was sexy." But then again, I was in my 20s thinking I was still gangster.
Because now when you slap somebody, your hand gonna break. All this just gonna start shattering now. We old now. We can't slap nobody. Get away with it. Asian lives matter.
He said Asian lives matter.
Yeah. Hey, that's the first time we got that over here, dude. That's the first time.
Right. Fred says sometimes crazy can make you realize you need different, because it could get you doing 25 to life. I'm just saying. Yeah, it ain't worth risking your freedom.
Well, but the problem that we have is we think everybody's mental mentality is like ours. That's the problem. We think people will only go as far as we'll go. We think most people are mentally stable. We think, everybody's in a good place. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing foolish. But man, when you start playing with people's hearts, you don't really know what people are capable of doing when you start playing with people's hearts. Or you're trying to get away from what you think could be a toxic relationship. I mean, it's called toxic for a reason. You might have
right.
That's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So here's some things to just be careful about if you dating. First one, be aware of how intense they are. Be aware of their intensity. If they love you too fast, you gotta watch out for that. If y'all 3 days in and they already saying they love you,
they're gonna try to.
You gotta watch out. You gotta be careful.
They're gonna choke you out. They're gonna choke you out if you leave. They're gonna choke you.
Right.
Yes, they're gonna choke you out. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And even a person who is real affectionate, real loving, you gotta watch out for that too, because that can turn the other direction with the wrong trigger, the wrong thing. So watch out for intensity.
Well,
second thing. Go ahead.
Was that the second thing? I thought that you didn't do the second thing? Go ahead.
No, that was the first one. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man, again, always be aware. Keep your head on the swivel. Always be looking. Always know what's going on. Always know where you are. Always know about your surroundings. And it's because, again, none of this is a surprise to you. Now, when I say not a surprise to you, the part of them being a little off center is no surprise because you know the stuff before about it. You just didn't say nothing. Go ahead, D.
So the second thing you want to watch out for is watch out for isolation. What I mean by isolation, in the beginning of a relationship, it's natural to spend a whole lot of time with that person. Y'all vibing, y'all liking each other, y'all want to spend time together. But when this person wants to monopolize all your time to the point they start trying to cut you off from friends and family, they don't want you hanging around certain people, and you'll turn around and it's just you and that person. You got to watch out for that. Listen, the people who loved you before that person came into your life, don't cut them out. Don't cut them out.
Yeah, in that situation, you do like Forrest Gump did. You go outside and you start running and you just keep running until you get like a bird.
You got to be careful about this. So the third thing, extreme jealousy. Extreme jealousy. If y'all in the supermarket or y'all out to eat and somebody pass by and they look at you, not even flirting, and this person wants to fight somebody, or you don't want to be with that person. If they got something to say about every little thing somebody says with you, you got to watch out for that.
Well, if you got on those, what them pants do, them yoga pants. Maybe you need to wear a skirt over yoga pants. Them yoga pants will make you get into some fights. So I'm gonna just say that. Them yoga pants will make you fight somebody. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I'm just trying to keep it 100. Y'all get in the yoga pants and y'all be doing y'all thing. I'm just saying, hey, y'all need to cut that out because somebody will get to it. Go ahead.
So yeah, be careful. Be careful about extreme jealousy.
Yes.
They overly suspicious. Yes. Abigail says, Lord, yes, on the jealousy. It's actually pretty scary. Yeah. You don't want to get too serious about somebody like this too fast.
Yeah.
Fred says, sometimes crazy gets right until they meet someone more crazy than them. Because I don't play about my life. Fred said he gonna challenge your crazy. I see your crazy and I'll raise you. You already talking about rolling the dice. So, all right. The fourth thing is belittling. Watch out for people who they try to belittle you, or they say different things. They take shots at you to try to bring you down. And then once you start to say something and you mention it, they try to make you seem like you tripping.
You the crazy.
You so sensitive. Yeah. Watch out for people who belittle you. You want somebody who's gonna lift you up, because it is a mind game. It's a mind game, right?
Mm-hmm. But as much as it's a mind game, D, it's a heart game. It's a heart game. Sometimes we have to be smart enough to tell our heart what to do rather than our heart telling us what to do. And most of the time we don't get that till later. You know, because it's a such thing as somebody being real good. Somebody can be real good to you, but no good for you. Well, that's when your mind should have spoke over your heart and say, I know all the little stuff that you do, and I love it, but you're not no good for me. somebody don't get hurt or something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to be smart. We just have to be a lot smart about what we're doing.
Yeah. I remember I used to watch this show, Fear Factor. I don't know if people remember Fear Factor.
Yeah, I remember.
I used to watch Fear Factor. And I see these people doing these crazy stunts. Well, those people did those crazy stunts because they knew it was a crew sitting there watching them. They knew somebody there in case things got too intense or things got crazy. They had somebody to come pull them out, somebody to come rescue them. And then they tell you what, don't try this at home. Don't do this on your own.
Because we ain't there.
So, right. Some relationships, don't do it on your own. Listen, when you go in, you blinded by your emotions. You just in that honeymoon phase, you feeling the person and everything, and you will miss some things. So you need people that you trust to say, hey, snap out of it.
Listen,
Didn't you notice when this person did this or said this?
If somebody choke you out and you didn't tell them to, whenever you wake up, you better get out of there. 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 You tell you to choke me. That was later. Who told you to choke me? I ain't tell you to choke me yet. You choked me too soon. You better get out of there.
Hey, it's all fun and games till somebody get hurt.
That shouldn't be funny, but that is so funny.
Hey, stop playing around like that. It's
hey man,
what is all right? Let me get Jeffrey coming. Let me get Jeffrey. Jeffrey said people tell on themselves, but if you ignore that, put a quarter in your back. And yes, I've been there. I just made a conscious decision to not be there again. Jeffrey, I can tell you this. Whoever that next woman that come along is, she got hell on her hands with you, fella. You gonna make her prove herself something serious.
But as long as Jeffrey don't make her prove herself more than he gonna prove himself, because you can only demand of somebody else what you're willing to do yourself. So that's all. That's fine. All that's fine. I'm with you, Jeffrey. But it's like, hey, just make sure she is serious as you are.
Abigail says, heart sometimes tells you wrong. Gotta use your brain.
The heart
we get in relationships.
It tell you wrong all the time.
And we get in relationships, we completely just take our brain and put it in a drawer and lock it up somewhere until the emotions wear off. Then we go trying to find it and it's too late.
Wait, it's some other things we listening to. And the heart ain't one of them. And the brain ain't one of them. It's some other things we listening to. And matter of fact, you gonna forget where you put your brain. Because it's gonna be so long before you're gonna use it again.
Right. Listen, what he's saying make a lot of be careful about who you jumping in bed with. Be careful. Because it will throw your judgment completely off.
You're right.
And some of y'all done got hooked up with crazy way too soon.
Man, there's some yoga pants for me though.
All right. All right. So how should you handle true mental health issues in relationships? What should you do? First thing, we said this before, I got to say it again. Do not make somebody else responsible for your mental health. Take responsibility for your own mental health. All right. So that is a serious one. You got to do that. Second thing is be honest about your condition. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the person. You know you got something going on. let the person know that you have something going on.
And again, but I want the reason I stop because that's the most important part to me, guys. We have to be honest with each other. Relationships, whatever you're doing, I think most people are willing to play if you're willing to play, or vice versa. But if you want something more, okay, admit that. But also, if you got some issues like, oh, I can tend to get clingy. I can tend to get, things kind of, I love hard. It ain't gonna be. Listen, and not only that, listen to people when they talking to you about themselves. Most of the time, they don't lie. Listen to people when they're talking about themselves. They're trying to warn you. Go ahead, Dick.
Abigail says, before getting into another relationship, you must seek counseling first to help you heal. Yes, do the work yourself first. Don't leave that person, don't put that burden on that person to try to be your counselor. That person is not your counselor. So don't get rid of your counselor or the person you're talking to just because you got somebody in a relationship. That person is not your counselor. The last thing you definitely want to do is don't rush it. Do not rush the relationship, because you have to adjust to a new person in your life, and that person has to adjust to having a person who has a mental health diagnosis or something being in their life. Doesn't mean they don't want to be with you. Really, if a person, after you tell them that and they stick around, then they willing to be with you. They willing to put in the work, but you just got to be smart about it. So please be smart about it. Right? There we go. So, guys, girls, everybody, be careful. Be careful with relationships. I know we keep it lighthearted about the crazy, but this is something you got to take serious. Too many people have lost their lives in the whole nine, so we don't want anybody getting hurt. We don't want, what I'm saying, nothing to happen to anybody, right? So be careful with your relationships. Relationships are so serious. They are definitely serious, and you don't want to end up in a bad situation. And it can be all of a sudden. You turn around and next thing you know, you in something, you wonder how you got there. And for all intents and purposes, you don't know what you're going to do. But if you are smart on the front end, you think about it on the front end, use your mind. Use your mind. You know what I'm saying? Let your mind kind of keep your heart from going too far too soon, so you can avoid a lot of issues. You do not want to jump in too soon. All right. So be careful. Be careful. And like I always like to say, the sex is not the test drive. Sex is not the test drive. Sex is when you sign your name on that dotted line and you have now bought something, right? Dating, getting information, learning the person, seeing if there's somebody you really want to deal with. That's what you want to do first. But if you buy some sight unseen, it's really on you. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful about all of that. So let me just say this. There is too much that goes on in this world. It seems like everything is, you got social media, we got TV, we got all these things sending all these different types of messages. We have access to so much information. And what I'm saying is, it's hard to maintain your mental health if you're not really watching what you take in, the information you taking in, and all the type of stuff that's going on. You definitely want to be careful about that. By all means, if you need to see somebody, Go ahead and see somebody. Mental health is not a burden, it's a privilege. When you want to get your body right and you know you don't have the information to get your body right, what do you go? You go see a personal trainer. If you know you're not eating healthy and you know you don't really know what foods to eat and what foods not to eat, you go see a dietitian or somebody. And it's amazing how we can go see professionals for all these other types of things, but when it comes to our mental health, we don't think it's that important. We fool ourselves to think that we can do it on our own. Don't play around with your mental health. Go see somebody. Go talk to somebody. Let them know what's going on with you so that you can be okay. We want you to be all right. And that's our King Speaks for this week. Another one in the books.
Yeah, man, that was a good one, man. Hey, and we hope we help somebody today. Real talk. All seriousness, I know we make,
Right.
I know I make light sometimes, but we're really trying to help people. So hopefully this helps someone today.
Next week, you don't want to miss it. We're talking about, does cheating kill a relationship?
Mm-mm.
Does cheating kill a relationship? We wanna see what you think about that. But we're gonna wait till next week, though. We're gonna wait till next week. That's what we're talking about next week. Does cheating kill a relationship? Does it have to be the end? All right. We appreciate everybody for jumping on. Appreciate all the love. Don't forget, go check out our podcast wherever you go do your podcasting, and subscribe to our podcast, like our page, share it, have other people subscribe. We appreciate all the love. We'll see you all next week, next Monday. Peace out.